Hey guys, I'm Mike, and today we're at Aaron Sims Creative, where they've been hard at work designing characters for Ready Player One. For over 2 years, the artists and designers have been filling the virtual Oasis with enough characters to put them massive in MMO. For a lot of people, it was their first time working on a Steven Spielberg film, so no pressure, right? Especially when you're also getting to take on some of pop culture's most beloved icons.
So Ready Player One is another cool Steven Spielberg project that we had the honor to work on.
I mean, dude's the big dog. The coolest part about it is whenever we were designing on it, we would get notes back from Spielberg. Spielberg would see your art and be like, nope, or that's cool.
Bringing this feeling of wonder that I had looking at things like the Tyrannosaurus in Jurassic Park or Bruce the Shark in Jaws, and trying to bring something to a design that would hopefully make a kid watching Ready Player One this year feel the same way.
In the book, the virtual Oasis is filled with digital versions of 80s icons.
You know, a lot of us here at the studio are kind of that right age where we grew up on these things.
The 80s was another aspect of a lot of these iconic characters the production got rights to use. I think there's Freddy Krueger, there's Aliens, there's Iron Giant, so many video game characters. So we helped create the look of that would be unique, but still be those characters that are remembered for the film.
But one of the biggest ones is Spawn. Todd McFarlane's Spawn. We got to take a stab at designing him and getting to kind of re-envision him for this modern age.
I absolutely love monsters. I grew up on horror film, and we had an opportunity to do Wolfman and Frankenstein. Those were designed in-house, and I was able to texture and shade and sculpt a little bit on all of those assets, and being able to do Frankenstein, particularly Wolfman, was just that's my jam. Love the Wolfman. So you have to be able to capture the original feeling of that monster, but then fit it into like a now. It's all just a little more, I hesitate to say, hip version of our classic characters, but they turned out great.
A lot of things changed during ASC's time working on the film, including an important scene from the book that didn't quite make the final cut.
I got to bring designs of the joust and steed to life. It's a bit more in depth in this one. They're like giant ostriches with knights on the back. It is, when you translate it into a real world kind of vocabulary, it's a pretty far out design.
You too must fly, joust, and retrieve the enemy's egg before it hatches, and beware the lava below.
It's not only designs for a movie, but it's like inside this virtual game. And as a gamer myself, I like a lot of video games, a lot of movies, so it was just fantastic to get to work on characters that are inside this virtual world.
Late in production, Spielberg called for more characters to populate crowded scenes, and that's when the crew at ASC really got to unleash their imaginations.
So when we got the call, I think it had been almost a year, and they said, we need more. We need a lot, and that included both the licensed characters and our own unique characters. With that, we knew came kind of a certain freedom to design and put our own personal touches on those characters.
Modeling all of the extra background, like battleground characters, was just one of the most fun projects I've had working here, because it's what we call blue sky, open imagination. A funny story was I did design a little octopus on a dirt bike. He's got a little helmet with a little rubber ducky in there and everything, and I sent it off. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. And then Spielberg came back, he's like, he doesn't have a weapon, not approved. And I was like, oh man, I forgot to give him a weapon. So the next time around, I put him in a little helicopter with a bunch of rockets and Gatling guns and stuff, it's just having fun like that, like a little octopus with Hellfire missiles on it, you know what I mean? That's the fun part of the job.
Whether this character is seen for a split second amongst the ranks of 1,000 other characters, or it's a main character like Parzival or Dido, they all require the same level of detail and care.
One of our artists, Steve, designed this little frog guy that has 4 arms and this really big gun, and we call him General Gorf. He's a really cute, fun dude, and I hope we get to see him just a little frog with a huge gun. That's funny.
You spend months working and refining individual scales, because that's what matters to this whole pipeline. This is what makes it a quality project, makes it what it is, makes it an asset that's capable of being handed off to ILM. That's what I hope. There's a Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina version of all these RPO characters.
To have one of our little guys get in the spotlight, a huge fan following off of like 4 seconds of a film, like, oh, but look at that little dude.
That's what we're hoping, fingers crossed. We can't wait for the toys, to be honest.
The team at ASC has spent over 2 years deep inside the Oasis, but their hard work has finally paid off, and the final product is a gorgeous tribute to the entire history of pop culture.
We've seen so many films where everything looks the same. The thing about this film is that a lot of those are contrasting characters and that would never be in the same film, all smashed together, and that's kind of what's fun about it.
The team at ASC was able to bring a fresh coat of paint to the classics while also creating some future icons of their own. And Ready Player One is an excellent example of the artists of tomorrow bringing their unique vision to the legends of the past and paving the way for a new generation of pop culture classics at the same time.